Hey, what's going on, everybody? Mine's Marlon here, and I went from making $20,000 a year to learning how to make over $20,000 in a single month. And today we're going to be talking about the difference between doing and theorizing. So stay tuned to the end because I'm going to leave a really important hack that I found for myself to get me to take more action faster. So, I got $1 billion mindset steady. So in this video, let's jump right into it. I want to talk about the difference between doing and the difference between theorizing. So ultimately, a lot of people, they get into this place where they do a lot of theorizing. What do I mean by that? Well, they read a lot of books and they gain a lot of insightful information, but they never actually put it to practice. In fact, when I was growing up, my father, a very intelligent man, I love the guy to bits. Like, he straight up was the man that provided for me, he provided for my brothers and sisters, my mom, he took care of us. He went out to work every day. He would leave the home at 5 o'clock in the morning, wouldn't get back home till about 7 o'clock in the evening, and he never once complained about how hard he had to work to take care of his family. Now, there was one thing I noticed though. My dad always used to read. He would be reading books, he would be reading the newspaper, he was constantly taking in information, which when I was younger, I looked up to. I actually thought it was one of the coolest things that he was like this walking encyclopedia. Anytime I wanted to ask him a question, his brain would be able to produce that answer for me. However, as I started to get a little bit older and I started to ask more questions myself, I would ask him, hey, like, the things you're learning about what's happening in Russia and you're learning about what's happening in China. Why are you learning it? See, I had never questioned why he was gaining the knowledge because it got to the place where I noticed we weren't really using any of that information anywhere. It wasn't very relevant when I was talking to my friends. It wasn't very relevant in my pursuits in athletics and my pursuits in school. So it wasn't really helping me in other areas of my life. So I wanted to know from him, where was it helping him? And what I came to find out was the information really wasn't helping him. It wasn't allowing him to make better trades in the stock market because he wasn't trading. He wasn't an entrepreneur where this was maybe particular market knowledge that gave him a competitive advantage. All it really turned into was a conversation piece at parties that, quite frankly, no one really wanted to listen to. So I saw that it was possible to take in a lot of theory. It was possible to take into a lot of information, but then not ever implement it, rendering the information relatively useless. So I started to pay attention to the doing side of things. And I actually remembered around the time I was about 13 or 14 years old, entering into high school, I remembered making a very audible proclamation to myself, a promise that I would never be someone who just took in information and didn't apply it. So even in the space that I am, an expert in, or becoming more and more of an expert in, I should say, of the personal development space, when I started diving into that space in my early adulthood, 19 years old, I made a promise that everything I read, I would put to use. Very much like a Tim Ferriss. If anyone knows about Tim Ferriss, the gentleman that wrote the 4-Hour Work Week and Tools for Titans, what he did was he experimented on himself with all the information he was taking in. And ultimately, this started to produce outsized returns. It wasn't just taking in the information, but it was the actual application of the information, which is what I want to really challenge you to do as you're watching my YouTube videos, as I'm sharing gems, and as I'm bringing on people onto my podcast, and you're hearing from multimillionaires and even billionaires. You not just take the information as a theory, but you put it to practice. You actually test the information in the only laboratory that matters, which is the laboratory of your life. Put the information to work and see if it produces beneficial results for you, because ultimately that's what the whole game is. This game of entrepreneurship, this game of leveling up, this game of personal development ultimately is all about, are you going to the next level by applying the information that you're learning? When you take these gems or you take these keys of knowledge, are you actually using the key to open the door and step through? If you're not, you're just hanging out in the world of theory, in which case you're not doing anything for you or anybody else around you. But if you start applying the information, you're going to begin to start to see results come into your life. For example, prime place. Many of you know about the importance of writing your goals down. Many of you understand it theoretically, you understand it intellectually, that if you write your goals down, it's more likely to happen, you're more likely to remember, you're more likely to see opportunities, your reticular activating system will start to spot those opportunities in your world. But many of you are not doing it. Very much like many of you know how to lose weight, consume less calories, exercise more, and you understand it in theory, but you're not producing the result. You're not getting the result of losing that weight and having that beach body that you're looking for because you're never taking it to this place of doing. So my challenge to you is to start doing. Now, earlier I said I was going to give you a tip on what got me to start doing more things and move away from the world of theory. And I'm going to share it with you right now. But if you're getting any value from this video so far, do me a favor, go ahead and smash that like button, hit the subscribe button, and turn the notification on because I'm going to be putting out new videos every single day, especially right now for the next 60 days. We're at the beginning of January. Every single day, I'm going to be dropping a new video with as much value that I can possibly squeeze into that video. So here's the tip that got me to go from theory to doing. What I started to do was as soon as I found something that I wanted to apply, maybe it was working out, maybe it was trying something new in my business, I would immediately go out and I would begin teaching it to other people and I would share with the world publicly, this is what I'm going to do. We call it public proclamations. I would make a public proclamation about what it is I wanted to do because now what I was doing was I was putting my back against the wall where I now had to perform because the pain of being embarrassed in front of my peers and being a person that wasn't a man of their word, that was so painful to me. That sort of reality was so hurtful to me that I would run away from that pain and do the thing I needed to do. So anytime I need to get myself to do something that's uncomfortable, to take the theory and put it into action, I make a public proclamation. I tell my friends, I tell my family, I get on social media. And I want everyone to understand this is not comfortable. So don't think that when I do this, it's a very comfortable feeling. When I told people I was going to earn $100,000 back last year in the month of February, and we're calling it six-figure February, that was very uncomfortable because guess what? I had never done it before. I had never earned six figures in a single month. However, I did have the theory, and I knew if I took the action, there's no reason the theory shouldn't work. So I made a public proclamation that this is what I'm going to do. And so every day I was able to show back up, and I kept reaffirming to the world, I kept telling the world over and over, this is what I'm doing, six-figure February, six-figure February. So for you, it might be, I'm going to the gym, I'm doing Andy Frisella's 75 hard, I'm going to tell my family I love you every day, I'm going to call my mom every day. Whatever it is that you want to take from theory into practice, tell the world, make a public proclamation. And you can start by doing it right now. Go into the comment section below and make a public proclamation. What are you going to do right now? What are you going to take from theory and put into action? So if you got value from this video, be sure to hit the like button. Be sure to subscribe. And like I said, comment in the comment section what you're going to be doing. I'm going to go and look at that and allow this community to be the first community that holds you to that standard. If you need other people that are going to help hold you to that standard, if you know that, look, when I make that public proclamation, Marlon, right now I'm around people who don't support me, who don't cheer me on, they don't want to see me win, and you need a community of like-minded people who are going to help hold you accountable in a positive way, that when they give you criticism, it's going to be constructive, not for the sake of tearing you down, and you don't know where to find those people, I can tell you right now, I've already done the hard work of gathering those people together in a morning community called the Morning Mindset Coffee. If you've never heard of this, go check us out at morningmindsetcoffee.com. What I've done is I've gathered entrepreneurs from all across the U.S. We meet together every morning, Monday through Friday at 7 a.m. Eastern, to work on our mindsets and to really help hold each other accountable. So think about it like a mastermind that happens every single morning. We're talking high-level business. We're talking high-level entrepreneurship. It's not just a one-way screen like you're seeing right now on YouTube, but it's an actual back and forth. You're on a community with other people on Zoom. People are linking up, connecting in the real world. It's absolutely amazing. So if you need a place to make your public proclamation so that you can go from theorizing to doing with less friction, go check out the morningmindsetcoffee.com. When you get there, be sure to look for the dollar trial. Right now, I'm running a dollar trial, so you can try it out for a week for just $1. So guys, I hope you got some value from this video, and I will see you on the next video. Okay, bye. I got $1 billion mindset.